Yo, welcome to Bird's Eye View LLC's feature podcast, Spoken from a Bird's Eye View, which was born at the intersection of human innovation and technology, and we seek to help those on the path of enlightenment through connection by media. Now, how are we connecting by media? Really, we're talking about three things, or we wanted to connect three things. We want to connect this idea of celebrating culture and increasing understanding and building bonds of respect, right? And as we do those things, we're talking about 5 major pillars. We call these the 5 foundational pillars of life. That's arts and entertainment, economic development, financial literacy, health and wellness, and spirituality. Now, we'll be honest, I sprinkle in a lot of political talk along the way because it encompasses all of those 5 pillars. So thank you so much for pressing play and tapping in with Bird's Eye View Media and also Spoken from a Bird's Eye View. Let's go ahead and take flight. Don't forget to follow us across the board on all social media platform sites. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. That'll be Bird's Eye View Media LLC. And also you can find us on Spotify and Anchor at Spoken from a Bird's Eye View podcast. Want to thank you in advance for all your support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share. And also just help me share all this beautiful message. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to another episode of Spoken from a Bird's Eye View podcast with your favorite Mr. Bird's Eye View, aka Melody that woke himself. So on this episode, oh my, woo-wee, we have a great guest with us. In a moment, I'm going to introduce our guest, but today we're going to have a great time in our health and wellness pillar. Today, people, we are speaking with a chef, world-renowned chef. Oh my, I'm so excited to introduce this chef, you guys. Now, let me tell you a little bit about how I ran into her. About a couple months ago, she was just outside and she told me, "Kay, you look healthy. You look like you could eat a good meal every now and again." And I said, "You know what, you're right." And she said, "You know what? I say that to you because I specialize in a certain type of cuisine, and I would like to introduce it to you." Now, I'll be honest. I was a little hesitant at first, but ladies and gentlemen, after trying this lady's food, I'm telling you, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. So what I would like to do is actually introduce our guest, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, meet the creator and founder of GreenLyte Go Chicago. So GreenLyte Go Chicago actually specializes in vegan comfort food, and the tagline is crazy good vegan heaven in your mouth. Now, I don't even want to ask what inspired that tagline, but I'll say this, that's a great slogan. Now, GreenLyte Go, it provides a different level of vegan. So they shine a light on health and they introduce a lifestyle showing that there is more to plant-based lifestyle than carrots and Brussel sprouts. Now, GreenLyte Go Chicago, it exists to excite the spirit and ignite the soul. Their mission is to keep people feeling pleasurable, but they are always on the journey for success. So they evolve just to express their creativity and just bring you different forms of cuisine. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I want to introduce to Spoken from a Bird's Eye View podcast, Chef Kyra Beee.
Woo, woo. And the crowd goes wild. Hi,
Greetings. So, Chef Kyra
Thank you for having me.
Wow. That's exactly what I was going to say to you. Thank you for actually joining the podcast, okay? Wow, my journey with you has been amazing, just as far as you providing me with some personal chef items and some personal recipes. So, hey, what better way than to share this with the world? Now, I'll be honest with you, Chef Kyra Beee. This vegan phenom, I think it's taking the world by storm. I just remember like 10 years ago, you couldn't convince somebody to eat healthy, right? But now, like, people are more conscious of it. And I think it's a very exciting time. So I want to ask you, what inspired you to become a chef? Not a vegan chef, but just a chef in general.
I always love food, and it's a God-given gift. I don't take credit for it. It was bestowed upon me, so I have to make use.
Okay, so you're using your talents that the good Lord gave you, and just quite natural. So have you always loved cooking?
I always love eating. So
Say that again.
that's the pillar of the food of cooking. So yeah, I always love eating, and it just kind of like I can break things down with my palate. So I feel like that's the gift, and it comes through my hands.
Wow. So that's why when you initially saw me, you was like, hey, you seem like a healthy guy. I mean, what type of foods do you eat? Because like at first when you were asking me, I was like, what is she getting at? But I mean, like your line of questions, I was like, oh, like she must really know how to cook, and she's trying to introduce me something new. So I mean, so you just kind of fell in love with the art of eating. I'll be honest with y'all, I'm a fatty too. I'm a skinny fatty, but I love to eat as well.
Skinny fatty.
A skinny fatty, yeah.
You might want to write that down. I'm a skinny fatty.
Skinny fatty, right? So for you, it's just the art of eating. You kind of you after eating so many great foods and just kind of different cuisines, you realize that your palate is like way more advanced than others, and it kind of inspired you to like cook more. Is that it?
I could say that, or you could say that because you said it, but I concur. And traveling, I feel like that added a level to my experience, trying different cuisine, being open-minded as well, and experiencing different cultures. So that influenced it.
That's so true, because I've traveled myself, and when you just kind of bump into different cultures and cuisines, it just kind of exposes. So it makes sense as far as the palate. Now let me ask you this, Chef Kyra Beee. You specialize at this point in vegan cuisine. Is that not correct?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So you said it. You said, hey, I'm a fatty, right? Like I love to eat. It developed my palate. What made you narrow this thing down to vegan? Or should I say, are you only a vegan chef at this point, or do you specialize in all things?
No, I'm only a vegan chef.
Okay.
I have, side note, don't tell anyone, but I have cooked for people like outside of vegan, because it'll be like a family member that needs help with something, and I'll jump in. But I don't.
It's not your forte though. It's not your number one thing. Okay.
I don't advertise my services as that. No.
Exactly. But if it needs to be, you know how to cook. You know how to cook all things, but vegan is the specialty. Okay.
But like I get like Ray Charles though. Like because I can't taste it.
That's so true. It's like you wasted your time. You're like, I think it's good. I hope it's good.
Right. I hope it's good.
Tell me it's good.
Right. That's okay. As far as it gets. But every time I perceive it, it's good. So I mean, I don't cook it too much. If I'm with a partner, if I was in a relationship and that thing comes up, when sometimes I had to cook 2 meals in the past. I mean, I didn't have to, but I cooked 2 meals in the past.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And the other wasn't vegan.
Okay. Now, we're not going to go down that path. You specialize in vegan. You specialize in vegan.
Yes, I specialize in vegan.
Exactly.
You cannot book me for anything else.
Exactly. Now, Chef Kyra Beee, I tinker with vegan, and kudos to you, because you brought me a brand new understanding, just as far as the vegan cuisine, and just like how delectable it could be. Like you dial things up, and I'm talking about saucing and spicing to the point where I'm like, wait, you lying? This is meat. Like
this a vegetable? This a piece of lettuce?
What you talking about? This is meat. But Chef Kyra Beee, I guess what I wanted to ask you as well, I hear a lot of critics, right? So like it's a fad now. It's a thing now. It's a real thing. Like people are really attributing themselves to this lifestyle. But on the flip side, I hear a ton of people say it's too expensive. Like I get what you're saying. It's healthy, but it's just too expensive. So what do you say to those critics?
Ball of lettuce, like $1.79. I mean, how cheap y'all wanted to get it?
Okay.
I mean, it's different kind. Of course, they have like things like vegan on a budget.
Okay.
Maybe I gotta put that in my reservoir. Put that out there for the people who do think it's too expensive. You can be a vegan on a budget. I used to be a vegan on a budget. before I was a vegan chef. Yes.
Okay.
So I was eating just fruit and lettuce all day. I mean, that's not ideal because our taste buds have been manipulated to crave and be addicted to salt and sugar.
Exactly.
So.
Okay. But that's why I said your sauces are amazing. So you must have got tired of what you say, lettuce and fruit just all day.
Yeah.
right.
The expensive part, what people feel like is expensive, is because they're comparing it to the meat when they go to the restaurant. But if you go buy a can of chickpeas, that's only $1.
That's true.
So when you go to the restaurant, the overhead is higher because it takes more time to make a vegan meal versus meat. You just slap it on the grill and you got to season it. Vegan stuff, sometimes you got to mix it in the blender. You got to do a lot of extra work. Exactly. So the overhead is higher. There's more ingredients. It takes longer.
Okay.
So that's
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. That overhead, and that would make sense as far as the quality of time that you put in equate to the quality of time that you get out, right? So perhaps a healthier body, right? Healthier lifestyle, right? So on average, I mean, you said it takes a little time. You may have to put it in a blender. You may have to just kind of let it marinate for a moment and things like that. What's your average meal time? Like including the prep and serving it. Like, what's your average time?
Well, tacos is like 2 seconds. That's how I almost eat them.
2 seconds.
I eat tacos. Okay, so tacos, that's regular still. So tacos will take about 30, 35, 40 minutes.
That's not bad.
No, that's not bad if you're washing your lettuce and stuff like that, chopping it, depending on the sauces you're putting on it and stuff. So tacos take about 35. That's why I almost eat that all the time. But if you was to make something like lasagna or like chili, chili would take about the same time as if you was to cook regular meatless
so
versus
about
meat.
25-30 minutes of prep and then about 25-30 minutes of actually cooking, you would say?
Yeah, because I do make the chili from scratch, so it will take about for chili it'll take about 2 hours.
Okay. Yeah. So you slow cook it, I imagine.
Yeah,
that's the flavors. Mm-hmm. Okay. So but overall it's possible to eat on a low budget. Mm-hmm. And kind of explore and get into some great foods, and then as well, it's not time consuming. It's just about the same, and in fact, you get a better benefit because it's healthier on the back end, right?
Yeah, it's just about the same. There's only certain things that will take a long time. You be like, man, that took a long time.
Okay.
Because you have to add more ingredients for all those flavors to come together. Yeah.
Exactly. That makes sense. But that might be a specialty for the weekend, correct? When you have a bit more time on your hands.
Yeah, okay. and make it in bulk so that way you can have leftovers for the next 2 days.
Exactly.
And then I'll take that out to warm it up. It'll take like 20 minutes.
Exactly. Meal prep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing I do now. So it makes a lot of sense. Now, Chef Kyra Beee, we talked a little bit about the healthy. We talked a little bit about it's extremely affordable. You just have to do your due diligence and go out and shop, kind of find it, right? Now I do hear critics as well. They say, I understand it, but when I look at the food label, tofu, soy products, or just vegan products in general, sometimes they're high in sodium, right? Salt content kind of through the roof. People, suffering from ailments and, high cholesterol, diabetes and things of that nature. What do you say to that as far as it being so high in sodium?
As I age, I am super sensitive to sodium. And I recognize it too. I went to this restaurant yesterday and all I got was some sauteed veggies, a tofu scrambled with the sauteed veggies.
Okay.
And it's not the tofu that's that much higher in sodium. It's how they're marinating it. They probably marinating.
Wait, can you say it again? How they're
marinating the tofu? So they might marinate.
Sauce is the basis.
Yeah, so they might marinate it in like a soy sauce or like something like Worcestershire sauce, and that's the sodium. So it's adding extra sodium and then on top of the salt.
Okay.
So yesterday, I'm so sensitive to salt now. I don't use salt on my food.
Okay.
And it still has flavor. And that's why it takes me so long to cook a meal, because I keep adding layers of flavor outside of salt.
Okay.
But people who don't specialize in those things and they just throwing something on the menu, the best way they know how to make it taste good is salt.
Yeah, because that's all most people know, salt and pepper, right?
Yeah.
So they overdo the salt because the pepper is kind of strong, right? Right. So that makes sense. So you don't really use salt in your recipes, not too much at least.
No, if I ever do, it's like, it's got to be like in advance, like it's missing. If I feel like it's missing,
a special
something.
Request, right?
Yeah, or if it's missing something, and but it'll be like a sprinkle. It'll
Exactly.
be like
Miss Dash, right?
Yeah, like Salt Bay.
Exactly. Okay, I understand. So, but that makes sense because I always wondered that. I was like, oh wow, because I'll look at the label sometime, and the daily percent or the daily value just off one thing, it would be 20% or 25%, and I'm like, wow, like. I mean, this is my only meal for right now, so if I eat a few more meals, like my salt is going to be through the roof. But that makes a lot of sense. It's not necessarily, the packages as it comes out purely, is more so the restaurants and the cooks and the chefs that actually perhaps overdoing their part on the seasoning.
Okay.
So,
sometimes, though, some stuff is too salty, and you don't need to add salt, and people don't get that part. Like, it's already salty. That's the salt right there. You good. And then people just add salt, and now it's extra salty. And now you got a headache, and you want to go to bed and stuff like that.
Mad at the world, right?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so I think that was a gem right there. It's already salty. It's naturally salty, perhaps for the preservation. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, take your time. Like, taste it first before you season it.
Before you add salt. That's correct. Even a can of chickpeas, or a can of anything already has sodium in it. So when people add salt on top of it, it's just too much salt.
Okay.
Now you gotta have blood pressure.
That makes sense. I think you just helped like a lot of people. I think you right? Even myself. Well, I don't really use a lot of salt, like not at all really. Sea salt if I will, but that makes a lot of sense. Now, Chef Kyra Beee, how long have you been a vegan chef? Like I mean, you say you've been a foodie for quite a while, but how long in this particular craft?
I've always been a foodie, and cooking is in my DNA. It's something I've unlocked. And my grandma, she always cooked. My mom always cooked. My sister, everybody in my family cooks. I was the only one who didn't cook.
To what point?
Up until 4 years ago.
Okay.
Right.
So you were inspired on your journey 4 years ago, and then so you've been doing the vegan kind of cuisine, mastering this ever since then. I take it.
I started the vegan journey 6 years ago, and then I had started eating meat again. And then 4 years ago, I stopped back eating meat. So everybody, I guess it's like I had already started observing everybody cooking around me, but it kind of like taught me intuitively versus me actually getting in the kitchen. So it's like I took the book training first.
Smart route.
Right.
So you didn't dive into the fire. You kind of, really the formalities of the art of cooking.
Yes, and not intentionally. It just so happened like that's what my subconscious was picking up on. And even with like my friends, like working in the food and beverage industry, I've worked in the food and beverage industry for 4 years, so I always go in the kitchen like, what y'all doing? This barbecue sauce good? What's in this barbecue sauce? You gotta be like, Kyra, get out the kitchen. Like you was front of house, and I used to be back there. Let me taste it real quick for you,
But you did say you're a foodie, so you were always in the kitchen like, can I get a sample? Okay.
It smells so good. I'm coming in every day for the past 3 years. Like, it smells good, y'all. So the same meal every day. So.
Exactly. So I mean, wow. So you took a different approach because most people, will more so learn, kind of hands-on in the kitchen. So you kind of took the book kind of formality, kind of, built this thing up. Is that why? Do you attribute that to why you're such a great cook now, as far as the vegan cuisine?
I think that has something to do with it because people would get so mad that I was by the book when I first started cooking. Like I'll be using teaspoons and cups,
True.
and black people like you can use a teaspoon.
Right. You gonna measure it?
Exactly, you gonna measure it. You better let the ancestors talk to you, right? Exactly. So I do think that like attributes to like my skill set.
So at this present time, have you mastered this thing to the point where do you still measure? Do you kind of like freehand it or?
Most recipes are freehand, but some are so signature. I choose to measure. I probably could freehand it, but so it can come out the same every time for what my clients are used to. I will measure it. Like for cookies, I measure every time.
To the T. Okay.
To the T. Most of the time to the T. Exactly. Sometimes I just be like, we're going to put flour in it. Sometimes.
Okay. Right. I mean, hey.
But 90% of the time I still measure for the cookies. For pastries, because I haven't mastered pastries yet.
Okay.
So pastries,
that's a different kind of cooking.
Measure. That is.
That is. Baking, cooking, right?
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So for baking, I still measure, but like lasagna, chili, I don't measure. No.
Okay. See, I like how you did that though. Like, so okay. So you could feed a person great vegan food as far as like dinner, right? And then you could kind of hit them across the head with dessert. Is that what you're saying?
I love to do that too.
Okay, what? Okay, right? Because people like what? A vegan dessert? Like,
I love to do that because I love it's an experience. Like I don't eat sweets like that, but I'm good at making them, and I think I'm good at making them because I don't like sweets like that. So they're not so sweet, and they're like just right because I'm not making it to be so sweet.
Exactly. That's part of the world's problem. Like sugar is, like going back to that salt. Sugar and salt, the two S's, right?
Yeah, sugar and salt.
Sugar and salt, sugar and salt. So Chef Kyra Beee, like, is there a particular type of event that you cater to? I know a lot of chefs, perhaps they're doing private events, perhaps they're doing vendors, perhaps they're doing festivals. What is your thing? Do you have a particular niche or you're open to all things?
When I first started, I used to sell plates, and I was doing like a chicken with my head cut off. It was just as a one meal, one sound. And so as I evolved and as I grow my career and develop my career, I started doing pop-up events and festivals, and now I focus on private dining experiences. So the clients who want to impress their clients, they would bring me on in, and I provide that exquisite experience, exceptional experience that people are all surprised that it's even vegan out there. Because when I make the menu, and I sit the noodles on the plate, I don't even put it's vegan on there. So the clients are surprised after that it's vegan.
Wow. So you kind of hit them with a double surprise. They actually do not know that the main courses are vegan, and then you follow up with a vegan treat, like just to send them off on that into Happy Land, right?
Right. Yeah, that's when they really get excited. They really love the dessert, and that's not even my specialty. It's the food. They like dessert too, but like you said, sugar. It's just sugar and salt.
Exactly. Yeah. Just kind of add a little icing on the cake, literally, right? Wow. So okay. So I think you kind of you touched into that as far as you really like the private dining. Is it a reason why you like the private dining?
I love it.
Kind of what is it? Old country buffet, like whoever wants to eat can eat. So I guess what's the difference in the two? Cooking for a big crowd opposed to like a private event?
The service.
Tell me more.
So the experience, the service, you can cater to the guests more. It's more intimate. It's not like it's more exclusive. The guests feel exclusive, so you can serve them better on their plates. You can plate their food, which is a private experience. Presentation versus like if it was buffet style, you just throwing it on the plate. Like,
exactly. Eat. There you go. Yeah, it's food. So So you feel as though it's more.
It's a show. It's an art.
I like you said that. I think because cooking is an art. chefs, you guys are artists, right? The display of the presentation of the food is like sometimes something could not be so good, but just like it looks good, right? right. And just the opposite as well, you know. So yeah, so I definitely understand what you're saying. Definitely understand what you're saying. All right. So more so private dining. You sticking to that one? Okay.
Yeah, I do weddings, private dining. I do festivals, but it has to be a festival with a purpose, like the vegan deal. Vegan deal, I'm gonna do my check cut expeditiously for promoting y'all.
Did you hear that, vegan deal?
Did you hear it? So the vegan deal sponsored me, y'all. Okay, so something like a festival like that I do because like people are coming out for that purpose.
Exactly. It is catered toward those people. You're not just out there like, hey, throwing vegan food into the wind and hoping it sticks to the walls, right?
Right.
Okay. Exactly, right. Okay. Now let me ask you this, Chef Kyra Beee. A lot of minorities do not gravitate to vegan. They're like, man, I'm a meat and potato man, right? I'm a lasagna and burger woman, right? So what do you say to those people that say like, nah, you know, like vegan is not my thing, and they probably never even tried it? So how do you feel about that?
I'm gonna ask them, why y'all prophesizing death on y'all life? Because every time somebody say that, they be like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. But that's exactly what you're going to be here for. A good time.
Just a good time, right?
A good time, right?
A good short time, right?
Right. And then you're going to be thinking about everything when it's time. You know, like, man, why didn't I do that? And then you're not even just hurting yourself, you're hurting the people around you, too. Wow. So why would you do that?
Hold on, run that back. That's powerful. Run that back, right? See, that's going to go over a lot of people's head. Can you say that again, Chef Kyra Beee?
People think they just hurting themselves when they eat like that and do that, but they're hurting the people around them. Like, they don't cry when they got the other people around them do, you know, and I hurt in this part. So.
That is wow. You know what? We can end it. That's it. Let's pack it up. Let's go home. Like that, man. Like, you spoke volumes right there. Like, because people do not think about, you know, 40, 50, 60. And that's when the cholesterol.
And that's young.
Yeah, that's young, right? Gout, you know, all these things kind of set in, and that's a burden on the family, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a burden on the family.
Too. It's so young. And with our culture in regards to, I feel like that, you know, it's still some DNA from slavery time. Like, we got through slave food. And our people got through slave food and just like not accessing that portal of health and wellness. Like, it's health and wellness. It's food. It's so wild that healthy food is called dieting.
Wow.
But I'm just not eating food. You know, people like, I gotta go on a diet. No, you have to eat healthier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then a play on words, because DIE, die is in it, but actually is living, right? It's healthy. It's live food. So yeah, it's not. Oh wow. So I mean, you just said something as well. You're full of gems. I like you, Chef Kyra Beee. So if you notice, you know, Bird's Eye View LLC, brought to you, right? Spoken from a Bird's Eye View podcast. We feature the silhouette, if you will, of melanated people, right? So that's the tagline. Melanin as a whole. Okay.
I will throw in, not to cut your wisdom, melanin people are the fastest growing vegans. So I will throw in that. That's a fun fact.
Oh.
Quick gem.
Another gem. She dropping gems today, people, man. Pay attention. But you were saying...
We're tired of getting chicken.
We're tired of just eating chicken. All right? So you were saying about just like ancestrally, like we had this belief that you know what, that's not for me. Like, I need some soul food. I need some southern cooking. I need, like, you know, like give me the pig, give me the pork, give me the, you know, the baby back ribs, things of that nature. So I guess, do you think that's like taught, or do you think people just kind of naturally just fall in love with the food that are just not so healthy for them?
I think that our taste buds have been manipulated to be addicted to these things that lower our vibration, that kills our people because they make more money. But that's a whole nother
That's a whole, yeah, that's a can of worms. That's a can of worms. But it's true. It's true. Like, okay, it's definitely true. So you think it's not a coincidence. And essentially what you're saying is minorities don't believe the hype. Understand that melanated people are the fastest growing population as far as like gravitating toward vegan. That's the fact.
Yeah. And another thing, because every time somebody dies, which is more about people die, it's like one must die for food, many must die for food to live. So because all those people in their family died, some of these complications that one person will start looking into stuff.
Ooh.
Because more of our people die from that stuff. So more of our people gonna look into it from that stuff.
Yes. That kind of leads to my next question, right? Like, is it a like learning curve for people, or should it be like a let me tiptoe to this? So should they start pescatarian, then vegetarian, then vegan?
I went full vegan. I feel like if I'm gonna eat fish, I might as well eat chicken too.
So you just went straight home. You skipped first base.
Yeah, I didn't go vegetarian. I wasn't really into dairy like that either, because like even though when I was eating meat, I had given up, and dairy is almost just as terrible as eating meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had been cut dairy out, so I couldn't go vegetarian because vegetarians eat dairy.
Exactly. So that's the thing that, if you could break that down for a few people, because I've dropped a few words: pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan. Can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit? Like, what is the difference?
So the kicker is, it all used to be called vegetarian, but the veganism has evolved. Like 15 years ago, there wasn't, trying to figure out how to spruce tofu into a chicken sandwich. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
It's just like, so they had to like distinguish now, because it started evolving. They had to distinguish, like, okay, now we got vegans, y'all, and now we got vegetarians. So vegetarians, they still eat like eggs, they still drink milk, but they don't eat meat. They
still eat like dairy products. They still dairy
and eggs. Exactly. Yeah.
And vegan, no dairy at all.
Nothing that people.
Okay. Pescatarian, what's that one?
Pescatarian just eat fish.
Just eat fish. Okay. That's a lot of mercury, right? We're trying to get away from the salt and the sugar, and we just go substitute it for mercury now.
Right. So they just eat fish, and I guess it's because the way they die, and then they of the sea, so it's not land.
Okay.
I don't know. I never really looked into it. That's just me putting two and two together.
All right, Chef Kyra Beee. Beautiful conversation, and once again, I want to thank you. For being our guest here on Spoken from a Bird's Eye View podcast. Okay, Chef Kyra Beee, what inspired the name? Right, that's different. That's rather unique. GreenLyte Go Chicago. Right. So, where did you come up with that idea?
Shining the light on health is one. The light plays on a lot of things, like we're ready to go, So
Chicago, ready to
go.
Yep.
In the culture.
Exactly.
So it shines a light on health. It's light in the kitchen, it's light outside. You got the sunlight, so light is just positivity, all great energy. Light is everything. So shining a light on health. Green light, and it brings, everybody always associate being vegan with vegetables, so I figured, okay, they go the green part,
Exactly.
So it plays on that, yeah. And yeah.
That's what you meant in your description, as far as like GreenLyte Grow. It provides a different level of vegan, shining a light on health and introducing a lifestyle that there's more than plant-based. Besides Brussel sprouts and asparagus. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Exactly. So
it sounds a lot, yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, gives people more knowledge and exposure to understand that, hey, this thing is bigger than just what you said earlier, eating some vegetables and fruit all day, right?
Right. It shines a light. Yeah, it shines a light on eating healthier in general, as far as like even incorporating juices and ginger, putting live things in our bodies. So just that gives us energy naturally that was put here for us. So like you said earlier, it's always like, all this food that they cook at these gatherings and this, that, and the third, and then people get the itis, and the itis is not a good thing.
Exactly.
And they glorify it like, oh, I got the itis. No, itis means inflamed disease.
It does.
Yes, it does. It can Google. You don't have to Google it now, but if anybody ever want to know, that's what it means, inflamed disease. So it's inflammation. They're showing you your body you just overdid your body. Exactly. So your body's shutting down. You shutting down. So it's when you go to sleep, your body rests. So it's like, okay, I gotta shut yours down.
Exactly. Well, you overstuffed me. So this is why people get bloated. This is why the belly comes.
Right. And then another kicker is, that was actually another word they keep us chained with. That they keep us, our culture, our people think that's a good thing, and it actually was started niggeritis. That's the original term, niggeritis. And they shorted it to itis.
Wow. They dropped it and just kind of, okay, they won't remember that. They won't catch that.
Right.
That's perhaps why melanated people are the fastest growing, population or group to kind of gravitate toward vegan at this point in time, right? Because now they see like, okay, let me reverse this niggeritis, or
they tired,
right?
Tired,
tired, but don't want to go to bed now. Tired from just overeating, right?
I'm saying like our people are tired in general of like being effed over,
Exactly.
So they're just tired.
Exactly. Getting the bottom of the barrel foods, getting in the bottom of the barrel, just everything, right?
That's the niggeritis. Yeah, I'm getting you this bottom of the barrel food, so now you got niggeritis because you just ate the bottom of the barrel food.
Yeah, dial it up. And I think that's what you were saying earlier as well when you were trying to go down that path as far as the prescription drugs. So hey, let me get you hooked on this, and get you used to all this. So then later on, I could get you hooked on something else, right? And then get in your pockets as well. So wow,
it's bigger than just it tasting good. Like, if food can still taste good, if people have been manipulated to think like this is like this, because that makes more money. People think vegan food is expensive. I always say it's cheaper to kill the cow, because when I go places, the no meat burger be $10 and the meat burger be $5, and I'll just be confused that y'all just take the whole everything and it's the same price or cheaper. Yes, at least that, but why is it more? That just don't make no sense.
The cow 500 to 800 pounds, while the plant and the tofu over here is what, a pound, 2 pounds, or something like that. And, the price
and costs way more though. And when you go to these restaurants, it costs the same thing, and it's like you would think the meat would cost more. I would think the meat would cost more.
I would too. Yeah. I would, like, that's what I said. 500, 800 pound cow, a plant, right? Like,
right? Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So wow. Okay. Now let me ask you this, Chef Kyra Beee. I guess you said you like private events, correct? So if people wanted to kind of tap in with you, they want to learn more about vegan, right? Because you dropped gems today, right? Beyond cooking, right? So you drop gems, So I imagine like you could educate them, they could book you for events, right? You could cook for them, you could teach them, train them, things of that nature. So if the audience out there wants to connect with Chef Kyra Beee and GreenLyte Go Chicago, where can they find you?
Yes, GreenLyte Go Chicago, LYT with a Y, like Kai, so light. So GreenLyte Go Chicago on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Okay.
Wherever we going, we GreenLyte Go Chicago. So GreenLyte, LYTE, GreenLyte Go Chicago. So that's my handles. Also, the link is in my bio to book me, to schedule a consultation in regards to if you want to, or if someone out there is interested in impressing their family and friends, impressing their client, and just having like a mouthful of experience. And yeah.
Exactly. What did your slogan say as well? Like vegan heaven in your mouth?
Vegan heaven in your mouth. That is one of my The tagline, that is one of the slogans. I have a lot of them. One of them is "Let me get a bite," because when I first started cooking, everybody was always, "Oh, let me get a bite. Let me get a bite." Mm-hmm. So, and I'll be like, "I want my food, bro." But you ain't vegan. You said you don't like vegan food, but so.
Exactly. And then that bite turn into bite. So you know what? Can you just cook it for me?
Right. Now I got to make a whole nother pan of lasagna.
Exactly. But you're getting your word out there.
That's the best part. Yeah.
Exactly.
I love it. I love cooking for other people. I love serving for other people. And I feel like on top of me having and being blessed with a God-given gift is that I love serving. So that's why I like the private dining sense. I get to serve the people.
Exactly. You get to give them the full experience, right? The full experience as far as your personality, as far as the food, as far as the dessert, as far as the history, as far as the knowledge. So, hey, I get it. It's a full package. So bookings, everything. GreenLyte Go Chicago. LYTE. Right.
Also the website.
Across all platforms, right?
All platforms, anything, TikTok, Instagram, anything, Facebook, Twitter, and the website, GreenLyte Go Chicago. Pinterest, GreenLyte Go Chicago. So whatever site you can think of.
Exactly. So you leaving no stone unturned. Now, Chef Kyra Beee, before we get out of here today, I definitely once again want to thank you, man. Like I've enjoyed this episode, right? Like, can I get a vegan meal? Okay.
Perhaps. I'm gonna send it to you in the metaverse.
Exactly. I mean, it's a thing now, right?
Right. Facts.
Right? I'll enjoy it, right? In my backyard next to Snoop. No, just playing.
Right. For real.
Let me ask you this,
Chef. Too.
Right. Let me ask you this, Chef Kyra Beee. What I guess people that are curious about this vegan lifestyle, is there a particular place that you would direct them as far as kind of shopping as well?
That's a good question. Okay, so if you're just starting out, I don't know, there are some restaurants. I'm dropping an ebook soon.
Wow.
So I am dropping an ebook soon in regards to that. So where to start, what restaurants can you go to, what grocery stores can you go to. Yeah, so I'll be releasing that soon on GreenLyte Go Chicago. So follow me, stay tuned for that.
Exactly.
And it'll have all the information everyone needs in regards to starting their journey.
Man. So, I mean, people, I don't know what y'all heard, but, I mean, Chef Kyra Beee has all of the resources that you need, right? From ebook coming soon. She will cook for you, right? She will inform you, train you, teach you, right? She has the history. She has the knowledge. She has the personality, and she loves the art of cooking. As you heard her say, 4 to 6 years, she's mastered this thing. She's doing this with a purpose, right? So it's not just, hey, I love cooking, but I love helping my people live and see longevity, right? I love teaching my people things that perhaps they're a little leery of, they shun, right? But she's bold enough to step into that kitchen, right? Like the ring. And I mean, do her thing, do her business. So tap in, press play, get in tune with GreenLyte Go Chicago.
GreenLyte Go. I have one thing I want to say too, real quick.
I just definitely want to do that for you. I want to open up the floor for you. So any last words that you have for the world before we get going today?
Yes, GreenLyte Go Chicago, as I mentioned, shines a light on health. And even if you don't go vegan overnight or even go vegan at all, it's the health part we're shining a light on. And your toes don't have to hurt from diabetes. You don't have to take that insulin. That's poison. You don't have to. So even if you're just eating healthier, incorporating people being in so much pain, I know because my mom was going through it, and people being in so much pain from the stuff that they eat when they don't have to, but they say, and they want to be here for a good time and not a long time. So you steady prophesizing, or they steady prophesizing that on themselves. But while they in pain and crying, don't know why they toes hurting, and keep saying they toes hurting, but still going to eat the same thing. So you have to pick a side. So even if you just start incorporating more vegetables, everybody loves fruit. So even just keeping the fridge stocked with fruit, you know, is a major shift. And get your taste buds used to it. Of course, you're not going to be used to something that's new at first. But when you start to get your taste buds used to it, it's like starting a new job. You got to go through training.
Yes.
You know, so that's like the training phase.
Exactly. So give yourself the opportunity, right? Just understand, you know, what's at the end. The end is a healthier lifestyle, perhaps a better body, physique, you know, a happier family, you know, perhaps you're living on this earth, you know, longer. So God's green earth, right? So tap into the green things on God's earth, right? So amazing. What else?
I cater to flexitarian. That is, even though I'm vegan, I am vegan.
Okay.
My clients are flexitarians. I what they call. They're open. They're open to trying something that they know and feel will better them. You know, even if they don't fully go into it. And you asked me a question earlier about like what makes why we feel like our people is like, you know, basically kind of brainwashed, for lack of a better term.
Exactly.
And I feel like traveling has a lot to do with that. So I want to say, y'all, book that trip this year. You know, get outside your comfort zone and experience and see different things, and that'll just keep this ball rolling on trying different things. So.
Exactly. So people, man, like I said, I had an amazing time on today's episode. I want to thank everyone for pressing play and tapping in. Chef Kyra Beee, man, what an amazing guest. So, ladies and gentlemen, until the next time my voice meets your ears, remember, no matter what's your vantage point, no matter what's your perspective, always seek to harmonize this world by celebrating culture, increasing understanding, and building bonds of respect. Bird's eye view, melanin woke, that's woke. Over and out, people. Love. God bless.
Peace, love, and vegan cheese.
Peace, love, and vegan cheese. Take care, Chef Kyra Beee.
All right, peace, you too.